Hi, everyone, and welcome to IMI Switzerland. My name is Sadia, and I will be taking you through what we call our ultimate guide. So I'll be introducing you to the school, the programs that we offer. If you have any questions about the fees, please save that to the end, and we will get to it. So I will get started. So IMI, we are a hospitality and business management school located in the center of Switzerland. We have 4 entry semesters per year, so you can start studying in February, May, August, or November. Now, we offer undergraduate programs as well as postgraduate programs and something called the Swiss Advanced Diploma. I won't go too far into the Swiss Advanced Diploma, but if you have any questions about that later, you can always message me privately and ask. All of our contact information is at the end. So IMI started in 1991. It was opened by the Berkey family, and we are still Swiss-owned, and you can see them there in the corner. They are still on campus every single day. So we started with 2 different campuses located around Switzerland, and now we have one larger one in Lucerne. Now, we are the only family-run business and hotel management school left in Switzerland. So we're a little bit on the smaller side compared to other schools. We have a capacity of 400 students per year, and that spans across all 4 programs. So if you're looking for a program that offers smaller class sizes, something more similar to a private school, this would be the school for you. Now, IMI, we are considered one of the world's leading hospitality management and business schools on the private sector. So in Switzerland, there are 10 hospitality schools, and right now we are the one of the 2 that are listed as the top 20 in the world. I myself have actually studied at IMI Switzerland. I did my master's there, and I absolutely loved it. Having gone from traditional Canadian universities to an intensive study program where the professors were internationally sourced, the students were more of an international community, more than I've experienced growing up here in Toronto, where I am currently. So it was quite an incredible experience getting different perspectives of hospitality and business management from different perspectives from around the world. So even with such a small population of students, our students and faculty represent over 50 nationalities, which has been pretty incredible. And we really do run like a family. I know a lot of businesses say this, a lot of corporations say this, but because we are so small, we are able to get to know every single student from application all the way through graduation and then past that. We have students visiting our campus that studied with us back in 1991 to bring their children in to introduce them to staff there are, I think, 5 staff members that have still been with us since then. So it's a really great environment where everyone gets to know everyone, and you're always considered part of the IMI family afterwards. So the life on campus is pretty great. None of these photos that you can see here are photoshopped or edited in any way. That is the view from our campus. We're located just outside of the main city part of Lucerne, overlooking Lake Lucerne. Now, across the lake, you can see these beautiful mountains, one of them hosting the Birkenstock Hotel, which you can Google. It's absolutely fabulous, and a lot of our students do end up going to work there on their internships. But it's like staying at a luxury hotel if you're living with us here on campus. My room was actually that picture that I've included in the slides here, where I got to wake up every single morning to that view. Didn't matter if it was rain or shine or if I was having a hard time studying, it honestly helped. Then there was a lot of great activities on campus. We have pool table, we have table tennis, volleyball, we have foosball, what we call it here in Canada as well. They call it table soccer in Switzerland. And then we have a lot of really great tournaments and a lot of activities around campus that students engage in. It's also incredibly safe in Lucerne, which is one of the biggest perks of studying there, especially if you're a young woman or a young man looking for safety. You can walk around in these neighborhoods at 2 o'clock in the morning and feel completely safe any time of the year. We have one of the lowest crime rates in Europe. So as far as student safety goes, and as far as your personal safety goes, this is the place where you want to be. Despite everything that's happening in the world right now, it felt really comforting to live in a place where you felt like your personal safety was always top priority. So for events and activities that we have on campus, it is a lot of fun. I'm going to start with International Night. Now, this is a huge event that we host twice a year so that people who are in varying semesters can always partake in at least one during their studies with us. This is where all of our students get together and cook in the kitchen. This is completely covered by IMI, but they get to cook their national dishes, dress up, and then we host a giant buffet where we invite parents and families or friends to come and visit, people who live in the area. A lot of ambassadors come to these events as well to meet students, to see the type of culinary concoctions that they're coming up with. And this is an opportunity for each and every student to showcase something from their home country, something that is about them, through both their food and through a talent show portion at the end of the night. It's a lot of fun. Our students love it. Honestly, there's no great way to describe the events that we host for International Night. You just have to be there to experience it. Then we have clubs like wine clubs, art clubs, business clubs, where you get to meet with social media influencers, of course, in Europe, but you get that inside scoop, that inside knowledge on how to prioritize your digital marketing, for example, if that's an avenue that you're interested in going into. We do themed lunches around the country, not just in the German part where we are. We have sports days. We take you to Europa Park twice a year. And then on campus, we have pool tournaments and table tennis tournaments and soccer tournaments that are held first with just the students, and then students versus faculty, and then a faculty-run one where students get to place bets on who will win. I have won twice. It was very exciting. Once as a student and once as faculty. And this is something where you have 200 students gathered around our small pool table cheering each other on for these events. It's a lot of fun. And then, of course, ski trips, because we are in Switzerland. And in the summertime, we like to go to Lugano to go to Vizcaya Bridge, which is where James Bond GoldenEye was filmed. You'd have an opportunity to go bungee jumping there if you'd like. There's a lot of really great fun activities throughout the year. Living life in Kastanienbaum is absolutely incredible. It's a very small town, about the size of Halifax, maybe even a little bit smaller, but it's located on a lake. And you have the most amazing blend of medieval architecture and modern architecture. The transit system can take you from here by boat all the way to Zurich. The boat trips are a great activity to do when you have nothing else to do during the day. Walking through Old Town, where we have so many different festivals and food markets, farmers markets every Saturday. There's a lot of music events. Just there's so much to do. It's hard to describe. It's things that you don't really hear about that happen in Switzerland that are always happening, and only locals know about it. And if you lived here too, you'd be a local as well. Right now, for example, they have the Rudolph Christmas Market, which is 3 different Christmas markets scattered around the city. And it's nothing like Christmas markets here. It is honestly so magical, and you feel like you're being transported into a winter wonderland. And yeah, it's a wonderful life in Lucerne. And of course, the very interesting thing about Switzerland is that you will have farmland worked right into the cities as well. So if you're someone who loves nature, who loves the environment, this is a great city to live in and learn about different sustainable ways that people live around the world that actually work and that are actually functional. And then, of course, these stunning views. There are mountains everywhere, lakes everywhere, the most beautiful sunsets I've ever seen. And the argument is always, well, I could get that same view or that same experience if I moved out west to Vancouver. It's nothing like that. This is honestly an incredibly beautiful place. So these are some of the places that you'll be visiting, but they're also considered the top things to do in Switzerland, which just so happen to be all pretty much within a 1 hour vicinity of the school. So there's the Chapel Bridge in Lucerne. We have Mount Pilatus, which is our resident Alps mountain. Jet d'Eau is on the west side of Switzerland. So that one is a 3-hour train ride away in Geneva, but absolutely worth the trip. And that's somewhere we take you within the first 2 weeks of being with us. Of course, the Rhine Falls, Mount Titlis. I was there personally a week ago, and there are 2 of the tallest peaks in Europe. They're located in Switzerland. One of them is Mount Titlis, and the other one is called Jungfrau. And the views from there are absolutely stunning. And you have 2 options. You can either hike up, or you can take trains and gondolas to reach the top as well. Then the one I do want to focus on quickly before I move on is this, the Fastnacht Carnival. It happens at either the beginning or end of February, according to the moon cycle, every year. This is a 2-week festival that happens in Lucerne. And Fastnacht is celebrated all around Europe, but the largest and most celebrated one is in Lucerne. It is as if Halloween and Carnival came together, made a baby, and created the most fun and intense music festival you will ever experience in your life. I would highly suggest Googling it. This is one event that you don't want to miss, and people come from all over the world, but it's a little bit more special when you actually live there and get to experience it for the full week. Absolutely wonderful experience for students. Now, speaking of experiences, we also have something that we offer called the IMI Experience Package. Now, this is for special trips throughout your first year of studying at IMI. And this is something that will be talked to you more on your application, as these packages are tailored to you and your group of friends who decide that you want to travel around Switzerland and see a little bit more. Now, here we show a few examples of places that students have gone to and the way that they built their packages. But this would be added to your tuition. I believe the price would be an extra 2,000 francs. But these trips, if you were to do them on your own without the packaging that we're able to supply for you, you're looking at about 3,000 to 4,000 francs for the same adventures. So this is something that our students love to take advantage of. Now, a little bit more about the international environment, because I could tell you a lot about the schools and academic parts of it, which we'll get to. But if you're already in this chat, I think we're already considering being in hospitality or business management. So we are fully international environment. And this slide will actually address the question of ways to meet new students as a newcomer, as well as everyone outside of it. So on campus, we have over 50 nationalities, and we work with other schools so that you can also interact with students from the local Hochschule, is what we call it, which is the local university in Lucerne. And for new students and newcomers, your first week, we don't call it Frosh Week because it's not the same as what we do here in Canada for that first week of school, but we call it Big Week. We have a lot of icebreakers for all of the new students, and you are the only people on campus for that first week. And you'll integrate with the returning students in the second week of your first semester, but in that first week, we take you around Lucerne. We show you all the great fun places to go. There's icebreaker activities where by the end of the week, you would have interacted with every single person who is starting. It doesn't matter what program you're in. We don't lump you by program. We just lump you together as one new body of new students. And then we find on the second week, on the first day back of classes, the returning students are so interested in getting to know the new students as well. And we are such a small campus that it is very, very easy to make friends. I would say the students don't tend to make friends outside of our campus or outside of other students. But for myself personally, I did, and I found it extremely easy when I was a student. I went to the local pub and I signed up for Sunday pub quizzes, and I eventually formed a group with foreigners who are living in Lucerne. And this pub quiz night was actually hosted in English. It's an Irish pub, so that's technically where all of the foreigners go to hang out. There's lots of forums. We use Facebook Facebook meeting groups a lot in Switzerland, so it's very easy. Now, I'm quickly, before I move on, I will address the question about how easy it is to travel around Switzerland. It is the easiest travel system in the world. I have traveled a lot, and I have never had such great accessibility as I have in Switzerland. So you can get literally anywhere, the middle of nowhere. If there's a mountain you want to get to or a small farm that you thought was cute, you can definitely take a train or a bus or a combination of the two. Now, Lucerne is actually a center hub for travel, especially train and bus travel, for all of Europe. So from Lucerne, you can be in Milan, Italy in 3.5 hours. You can take the TGV to Paris in 3.5 hours as well. You can be in Spain if you take the train, that's really long, a long trip. But if you hop, we are about a 45-minute train ride from the Zurich International Airport. And from there, you can usually get flights to anywhere in Europe for as low as 60 Swiss francs round trip. Once you're in Switzerland and you have a Swiss bank account, you're actually able to access a lot of much cheaper travel deals than we get as Canadians when we look online. So it's extremely easy to travel anywhere. And yes, we are going to get to the degree levels and how that works. So sorry, I pressed that a little too early. So our programs are dually accredited because Swiss programs have their own accreditation, and it doesn't necessarily always translate from country to country. So all of our degrees are dually validated by Manchester Metropolitan University. So they do transfer. So a BA from us is the same as getting a BA here in Canada, and you would be eligible to register for MSc and PhD programs. We also offer an MSc program, and that program on graduation, it's also duly accredited from Manchester Metropolitan University, so you would be eligible to apply for PhD programs around the world if that's something that you're interested in. We have one student right now who just transferred over to a university in Melbourne to start her PhD in hotel management. It wasn't something that I thought was possible or that people got their PhDs in these days, but it seems to be a growing side of academia, actually. So it's a pretty exciting time for continuing education. Now, for us, because we work with Manchester Metropolitan University, I am so sorry for stuttering today. We have a lot of visiting lecturers as well, and some full-time lecturers from Manchester Metropolitan. And then we have our own stable faculty at IMI as well. But that's where you get that really interesting global knowledge, sort of how you would have visiting lecturers here in Canada. We have them that are on full-time staff that will come for an entire semester to teach and then return. It's very interesting also to get different teaching perspectives from both Manchester Metropolitan and from IMI. It's not different enough to affect your studies, but it's different in a way that helps enrich your knowledge in hospitality and business. So the way that our programs work, and a lot of our lecturers, the way that they teach is unlike traditional learning where you read the learnings, you come to class, you discuss the learnings, you discuss the readings and then write your homework on those readings. The way that our classes work is that you're expected to complete the readings. We don't check. And when you come to class, everything is considered experiential learning. So you'll do what you've been learning throughout the semester. Our typical classroom, when we're looking at our typical classroom, walking by through the hallways, it's not people sitting and looking at a lecture or staring at a screen. Chairs are moved around the room. There are whiteboards with a ton of scribbles on them. So it's a really interactive learning experience. Now, here are some of the programs that we offer. Not listed by program, we'll get into more detail. So we have something called the Foundation Certificate. Now, this wouldn't be for Canadian students, but if there's any international students that are watching at this point in time, the Foundation Certificate is available to students who have a 4.5 IELTS or slightly lower. I think the lowest that we'll accept is 4. Now, this is a semester, which for us, a semester is 6 months of intensive study. There's a 2-week break after 3 months. But during those 6 months, that is created for you to improve your English that is appropriate for university level. Now, where Canadian students will be coming in is at diploma level, meaning that you can have your bachelor's degree. Now, this is with all of your classwork as well as the mandatory internship period. You would have your bachelor's degree in 2.5 years. If you decided to do your MSc as well, you would have your bachelor's and your MSc in 3.5 years total. And that's with the work experience and your intensive study. Swiss Advanced Diploma is a management training program. It is recognized around the world, but it's mostly relevant in Southeast Asian countries. I don't believe that bringing back a Swiss Advanced Diploma to hotels in Canada will do you any good. So I wouldn't suggest for Canadian students, that is not a program to be looking at. What you should be looking at is the Bachelor's of Honors degree and the MSc degree. So our bachelor's degrees, there's 2 branches that you should consider. There's our International Hospitality Management branch, and then there is the Global Business Management branch. So in the Bachelor of International Hospitality Management, you have 3 majors options, which you would choose during your second semester of study. So you have International Hotel and Tourism Management, International Hotel and Events Management, and International Hospitality Entrepreneurship, which is a great business program, but under the sub of hospitality. And then for our bachelor's degree, that's more business focused, your 2 options would be Global Business Management or Global Marketing Management. For anyone who's interested in culinary arts, the bachelor degree is also dually accredited for our International Culinary Arts program. And again, all 3 of these degrees are completed in 2.5 years. It's 3 semesters of full-time study and 2 semesters of internships. And we pride ourselves in providing our students with paid internships, especially if you get one in Switzerland. Now, our additional services, of course, is that on your first semester, we pick you up from the airport. It doesn't matter what time you get in, you will have a vehicle come and pick you up. One of us IMI staff will be there to get you. We don't hire an external company. It's always someone from us to come and get you. We have a 24/7 front desk with security. There is personal counseling available. We also have our students do, during their first year, they have to choose between learning French or German. Those are one of the 2 main languages in Switzerland. We actually have 4 spoken languages, but when it comes to finding internships, German or French will be the most helpful for you. Italian is also a great asset. If you already have that, then you don't have to worry about learning a new language, but we highly suggest that you do. We have a fine dining training restaurant on campus that you will both be trained in, but as a student, Monday through Friday, you're able to make reservations and it's completely free. So if you wanted to have a fine dining 3-course menu lunch every day at school, you'd be more than welcome to do so as long as you got a reservation. And then we also offer master classes where we have different wineries or whiskey distilleries coming in to teach you about their process with tastings. We go and visit their distilleries. One in particular called Seven Seals, which is my favorite. They come in and do private lectures 2 or 3 times a year. So for the languages for the program, we teach in English, but it will be necessary to learn German or French during your studies as well. To answer your question about scholarships, for scholarships, because we are a private Swiss institution, we do not offer very large scholarships. You could be looking at an academic merit scholarship where there is a maximum of 4,000 or 3,000 Swiss francs reduction from tuition. As for applications, you can send me a message here on the chat. I will actually double check on how that works, or you can go to the website, which is IMI.ca/ IMI-Switzerland.com. You'll see our socials here at the end as well. I will quickly go there so you can take a quick snapshot. And you can apply directly there. Now, in the question area of how did you hear about us, please make sure that you do say you were here at School Finder, just so that we can send you the correct information. That way they also know that you're applying directly from Canada. Now, I think the best part about IMI, since we're wrapping this up now, is that our students have incredible careers after they leave IMI. If you go check our Instagram, for example, we keep up with a lot of our alumni. A lot of them are running very successful international businesses that are not even necessarily in hospitality. We have several of our students who now are head chefs at 3 Michelin star restaurants that they have earned themselves. It's been absolutely incredible watching where students take their education. Now, this is also a huge component, is the fact that we have internship and career support. We have 2 internship and career support counselors on campus, and they work with you one-on-one from the first week that you're with us until well after graduation to try and find the best internships for you, the most suitable career options for you moving forward. They help you with visa applications, whatever it is that you need to get the job, they will help you get it done. And because of these 2 people, it's we call them Miss Nikki and Mr. Tobias. We have a 97% job rate after graduation, which is pretty high. And it's also very interesting that half of our students go into hospitality, and then the other half of our students go into other fields, but mostly management, actually. But 97% employment rate within the first year after graduation is incredibly high, and they do really well. These are just a few of the companies that we have people working at. TikTok, for example, we have a high-ranking manager that's been working there for about 2 years now. She works in marketing and absolutely loves her job. She travels around the world for TikTok. Hugo Boss, we have some people that are working in the luxury event side for Hugo Boss. UBS is a bank, if you didn't know. So if you're considering accounting or banking, that is always an opportunity moving forward as well. So that is all I have to say about IMI Switzerland. You should follow us on our socials. We have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, there's Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. If you haven't checked out our booth yet, after this, you should go and see the booth. I have uploaded the same document in a portrait mode, in a portrait format for you to take a look at and peruse through. But all of the information is there. But if you have any questions, feel free to contact the email that's there. Let them know that you attended our session here at the School Finder group. And we'll get back to you in less than 24 hours. My phone number is also listed there. Feel free to WhatsApp me at any time. I will currently be on Eastern Standard Time for the next 3 weeks, and I'm always available to you. That's just how we work. Are there any other questions? Okay, I don't see any other questions at the moment. So if there are any, just scan that QR code, send in your questions, and I look forward to meeting with you and speaking with you soon. Have a great night, everybody.
There are some questions, actually. We can go through
Oh,
them.
yes.
If you're not able to see them, they're posted, but that's okay. I can just read them out to you.
Yeah.
First one is, what are new ways to meet new students as a newcomer?
Oh, I actually did. I answered those during the presentation.
Sorry.
But I can go through it again. Yeah, I had stopped a few times out, but if they have any questions, they can scan the QR code, and it's connected directly to the School Finder event as well.
Okay, perfect. It's up to you. Do you, if you want to stay on and wait in case there's any more, or just end it now?
Yeah, I guess I could give it another 30-second delay, so I guess give it another 2 minutes.
Perfect.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, it doesn't look like there are any more coming in. So thank you so much. And I'll put a link also in the chat with the direct link to your booth in case anyone wants to chat with you there as well.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Thanks, you too. Take care.
Thanks.